I want to talk to a topic that I believe is very relevant. I talked to a few of you yesterday about the advantage of using artificial intelligence. It pretty much brings you economic value and economic growth for companies and countries. There is another aspect which is as much as important, which is the ethics behind this. I'm going to give you some explanations about why this happens and why this is important. And we're going to talk in a few minutes about this. So let me start. My name is Omar Florez. I am from IT. Let me start with some story. Imagine that there is some part of the world where green points represent white people, and blue points represent black people. Imagine that this place in the world actually provides, a company provides a service. It's called Prime Service. Basically, Amazon gives you a package in 2 days, which is very nice because you buy and then you get it to your house. But it provides in all this city, but this one. However, in this city, 60% of the population is black. So this is discrimination, and the decision to not provide a service, a prime service to this part, is made by automatic machine learning algorithm. Imagine that this place in the world is actually Boston, where we are right now. So it turns out that there is a city where 60% of the population is black, and they don't get a service. Of course, this came to the media, and they totally changed the behavior, kind of overriding the rules that were discovered by artificial intelligence. And now all of them provide, all of them have the opportunity to receive the package and get the same service. Right? So when you see here, white people are around, pretty much sparse, but in this population. Black people are here. So what happens is that when you have an algorithm and you want to do mathematical optimization, basically you identify rules and you don't see what's happening. Basically telling you will have more money as a company if actually I optimize and actually reduce some of the expenses in some parts of the population. Right? Ideally, this is a random process. However, what happens in reality is that people tend to live together, for example, if they share some economic levels, if they actually speak the same language, or they belong to the same country, and so on, right? So if we don't kind of put some evaluations on top of this, these algorithms ended up discriminating. And that's not only bad, but it's not ethical. I don't know how many of you are professionals or study a profession, but pretty much being ethical is one fundamental aspect of what we do. And it's our responsibility to do ethical things, especially when we work with big money. So let me introduce myself after this story. My name is Omar Florez. I was born in Arequipa, Peru. This is one place that is below for other parts.
Our neighboring country.
Thank you for that. Thank you. So I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. I quickly discovered that I have to be a US citizen for that, so that dream was broken when I was 9 years old. But this passion for science still remained in me at that time. So I studied whatever was related with science and computers. So we call it computer science. I studied computer science. And now I did a PhD in artificial intelligence right after finishing my undergrad in Arequipa, in Universidad Nacional de San Agustín. And then I joined to a PhD program at Utah State University in Utah, here in the US. So I did a lot of research when I was undergrad. I was very passionate about science, and I published a lot of research works. And then I got a scholarship to study a PhD without a master, right? So it's very nice that we know that there are a lot of opportunities for our kids. If you have kids, or for example, for members of your family that want to do science and get a scholarship for that. And also you travel to another country, and also you learn another language. And you meet a lot of people. So it's really nice to do science. It really pays off. Then I wanted to be a scientist, so I became a research scientist at Intel Research Labs, where the most important project that we had was the wheelchair for Professor Stephen Hawking, who died last year. So my team was in charge of developing this chair and also developing the communication system with Professor Hawkins. So basically, we developed a distance sensor on his cheek, and he was able to basically choose in the screen actually what is the right way to form words, right? So this became very popular because of that. Basically, we wanted to share this technology so you can actually get it on the internet. It's on GitHub. So the same technology that we developed for him can be used by anyone in the world, basically, because science should be like that. And then I am working now at Capital One as our senior research manager in artificial intelligence. Capital One is a bank in the East Coast. However, they opened an office in the Silicon Valley, basically to attract artificial intelligence talent. I joined the company 7 months ago, and I have a team. I am growing the team over time. But we actually want to understand the way how humans communicate with words. So that's pretty much what we do. And now, something that I am very proud of is that we are developing the first Latinx in AI conference in the most important conference in artificial intelligence in the world. So for the very first time, we will have Latinos in this conference and showing what is our culture to them, and also what are the problems that are related to Latinx in the US and also in the world, and how this is not addressed, for example, by artificial intelligence. Some of those topics are quite related to what we're going to talk today. I mean, AI can discriminate you if you're Latino, not only because of your skin tone, but also because you are not correctly represented in data. And we're going to talk right now about this. So another example, Atlanta. Atlanta is a very diverse population. Basically, in the south, you can see the black points are basically, the blue points are actually black residents, and the green ones are white residents. You can see the discrimination, right? Prime service, right here, where you don't see many black residents. So another example of discrimination made by AI. So all of you probably understand that data is important. For many people, data is like oil, and artificial intelligence is like electricity. Basically, it allows us that our process run faster. It gives you more advantage because it automates process, making the processes more efficient and actually allowing us to actually think at a larger scale and also faster. So artificial intelligence is very nice. It gives you money to your company, and it's very important for us. However, there is a process of memorizing patterns. So all that we do in AI right now is to memorize patterns. So if you start counting, it's very likely that what you count in the past will happen in the future, and we call this a prediction. It's basically a statistical process. So we do that in AI a lot, and also we call it even supervised learning, because it looks like by learning something in the past, you can extrapolate it in the future. However, the word itself is full of bias. So the word that we know is actually full of not only bias, but also unfairness. And let me give you some examples about it. So this is what we talk about. We have a distribution. So imagine that this is the data of a population. And you are here. We are here, actually. We are Latinos. We are not correctly classified. And what happened is that in order to make this system to work in production, you actually remove outliers. So Latinos are removed now. And actually you have a more stochastic process. And you get a lot of accuracy, but by removing the outlier. So pretty much we are many times noise for these algorithms. Basically, by doing this type of analysis, right? So I wanted to show you something about why this is important. So if I search on Google images, farm worker, I get these images, where many of them are Mexicans, right? So if I am a kid and I want to learn about the world and I start searching for farm workers, this, or many, actually any search engine will give me a story from something similar, because the word is like this. I mean, most of the workers in farms are Mexicans, probably. So this is just reflecting what is the work. However, if you are a kid, you are basically creating a stereotype. Basically, the next time you see a Mexican working on the field, probably you will think that this is a Mexican, or you see that this is someone that is not white, or this work is, for example, for Mexican. You incorrectly probably try to get this analysis. It represents reality, but it's not fair, right? So if I search for doctor, the distribution is different, right? So how many Latinos do you see here? I don't know, probably one. But even women are not correctly represented, probably a little bit more. But for example, if we search for TV presenter, you can start seeing some black Americans probably in the figures. But certainly there is no Latino here, right? So if I take this and I put it into an artificial intelligence system, it's going to learn this. It's going to learn the disparities, the unfairness, and the bad representation of minorities into these models, because this is also happening in the data. So this is the problem that we are trying to solve. I mean, certainly want to represent what is in reality, but we want to add another layer that is quite related to ethics and fairness. And that's the only reason why actually this will become useful, because if this is happening, probably we will get enough money, probably we will get accuracy in the process, but will not be fair and will not be ethics. And by the way, many times this is actually suitable for a demand in a court, right? You have a system that is not fair and is not ethical and is discriminating, a company has to pay money for that. So this is a cab driver. You can also see a pattern there. And this is an experiment I was running the other day. So basically, talking about transparency, I took data from transparency.org, and these are our congressmen in Peru. So what you can see after doing a stochastic process to understand what are the groups that you can see in the Congress, 10 minutes, you will see that there are two main groups, right? So you have men that are a little bit older, with experience, and they are clustered here. You have another group of men which actually are a little bit younger and they don't have experience in politics. And then you will have kind of noise where actually there are women associated with no cluster, and also you have a young man with no experience in politics. So if you have an artificial intelligence algorithm that want to mimic the way how we Peruvians choose our congressmen, you will actually realize that actually it will treat minorities like women in a bad way, or it will basically add kind of noise to the process. So we can see that everywhere, right? So what is the solution for this problem? By the way, this problem happens in every component of the pipeline. When we have an artificial intelligence solution, a machine learning solution, we have several steps. We have the data collection, the data cleaning, the model training, model testing, and deployment in production. So every single step is actually prone to be biased. For example, if I collect data in the way I showed before, when we have the images, there is a lot of bias in this type of results, right? So I need to put effort in order to sample in a better way the representation of the world. So if I want to clean the data, I will basically, if I remove outliers, probably I will remove some data related to some minority. And so on. Also, the choosing of the algorithm is very important. Many times you choose an algorithm that is working only based on frequency, so you will actually end up giving more or favoring some frequent patterns which are not minorities. For example, you or I may not be there. So every single step is actually prone to be biased, and that's really bad, because it looks like the problem is actually worse than we thought initially. So what is the solution for this? The solution is basically to create better algorithms, modeling, formalizing fairness. This is really important, and there is a lot of interesting work in the literature. Basically, once we understand what is the mathematical definition of fairness, what is the mathematical definition of racism, what is the mathematical definition of empathy, into equation, we will be able to include this into the models and actually optimize the trainable parameters that will give a higher accuracy. There is a lot of interesting work. I don't have enough time to give you all of them. However, the idea is that if you have two random variables that represent, for example, some features, and some of them are very sensitive, like the race, for example, you can force the algorithm to not learn the connection between, for example, your salary and the race. By forcing these algorithms to behave in this way, you're actually kind of playing a little bit fair into the system. And then you let the rest of the algorithm to be optimized by its own. Right? So another problem, another solution is actually to create more inclusive data sets. And that's also something we are doing. We need to be better represented. I mean, it's not possible that if you are actually working in San Francisco and you belong to an underrepresented minority, you are actually more in danger than other population, other parts of the population, just because of your skin tone, right? So if you have a self-driving car, it's more likely that this self-driving car will pass over you, just because of your skin tone. So we need to create more data, we need to actually share this data, we need to raise our voice to tell all big corporations that actually we exist, and that's something that we are doing a lot lately. I will show you some results. Also, we need to create some content in Spanish, and that's something I am doing right now. So I created a class in Platzi. Platzi is like an online education system. So I created a class in artificial intelligence called Curso de Introducción a Deep Learning. And for the very first time in this platform, people don't need to know English in order to know these concepts, to learn these concepts. So if you want, you can take the class. It's very nice. I put a lot of effort and love to make it the most accessible and also nice with examples and everything. And I even sleep for many nights just to have it in place. So I recommend you to take it and please give me some feedback if you want. Also, this is what I talked before. We need to raise our voice. We need to tell the machine learning community that we exist. Many of the people that create and develop the breakthroughs of this technology are not Latinos and are not African Americans. So we need more people actually doing research in machine learning and artificial intelligence and also deploying these systems. One way to do this is to create a workshop in the most important conference in artificial intelligence, and we will be there in December. So if you guys want to go, you will see us there. And basically, for the very first time, we'll have women in machine learning, we'll have Black in ML, Black in AI, Afro-Americans in artificial intelligence, and also Latinx in AI, all together representing the whole spectrum of minorities in AI. We're also creating a dictionary of technical terms from English to Spanish. You don't need now, or probably you need less English, because if you see a term and you don't understand it, basically you will search in a dictionary and you will have that content in Spanish. That's another way to also create more content and also make it more accessible for us, right? Okay, finally we can conclude. We can say that bias and unfairness are everywhere, especially when we model machine learning algorithms, because they are actually part of reality, and they are everywhere. If you want to see what is a good source of artificial intelligence, you can check your phone. We have a lot of AI in your phone. We want to know how many steps you take per day. We want to know how many hours you sleep. We want to know if you snow when you are sleeping, what time you wake up. That's all happening in your phone, even if you don't understand or you don't know it, but that's there, I can tell you. Also, we need to collect better data set. We also need to talk about this. And also, I believe that the mission of our generation, for people working in these topics, is actually to make this possible. To create AI that is actually fair for everyone. Not only for Latino, but for every type of minorities that we have out there. So that will conclude my presentation. You can contact me if you want on my LinkedIn or my email. Thank you for your attention. Mike.
Any question? Okay.
Omar, a good presentation. I have a question. How is the best way to create this database a fair database? Because the example that you take right now, the Roxbury in Boston, Roxbury, I live in Boston, and Roxbury is a very dangerous area.
Yes.
And it's black indeed. Surrounded by South End, which is rich and white.
Correct.
And South Boston, which is Irish neighbor. But how create this database fair? Just for example, in this case, how?
Basically, to give every part of the population the same probability of impacting the model during the training. Which means that if we have, for example, unbalanced distribution of different classes, we need to make sure that we have the same distribution for all of them. And it's actually more expensive because things like us are like outliers in the data, which means that you need to create an exponential amount of more data in order to capture this. The reason why a self-driving car takes so much time to train is because you need to collect the corner cases, like the accidents, like I don't know, a bicycle in the middle of the road. So we are like that for this type of data. They need to collect more data and pay more money to people to do that in order for us to be better represented.
Well, this is a personal question.
Yes.
What fed your passion for science?
It's a great question. The possibility of discovering something and the possibility of creating products and helping other people with these discoveries. Usually that's common across many scientists. If I can stop on myself, I can say that. Thank you for the question.